Advanced English Arabic Learning Session 107. If being a trendsetter is important to you, be prepared to pay for it. These trendsetters have a critical social role to play. The van came to a jarring halt. He jarred the knee in training. A laugh which jarred on the ears. The play's symbolism jarred with the realism of its setting. A jar of coffee. Let's have a jar. They had a few jars together. This asset started to gain some traction. A cursory glance at the figures. A cursory glance at a newspaper article. A cursory look at the figures suggests there is a serious problem. Only a cursory inspection of the building's electrical wiring was done. The mayor gave a cursory glance at the report. He knew that if he failed her, she would hold it against him forever. He lied to her once, and she still holds it against him. He knows it was an accident. I don't think he'll hold it against her. He made a mistake, but I don't hold it against him. Kids could sense it when you held out on them. The workers are holding out for higher pay. Don't hold out on me, I need to know who did it. She was holding a brown leather suitcase. I held the door open for him. The car holds the corners very well. The police were holding him on a murder charge. The rebels held the town for many weeks. Let's hope her luck holds. I'll have that coffee now, if the offer still holds. You're welcome to visit any time, my invitation still stands. The law as it stands is very unclear. My offer still stands, let's work together. The offer still stands to brief the assemblymen if they want to. There are no merits in the bill as it stands. The country would struggle, as it stands, to host the next World Cup. This basic argument holds for almost any economic model of competition. The tank held 24 gallons. I can hold my drink as well as anyone. He was holding, and the police hauled him off to jail. She held office from 1985 to 90. I feel nothing but pity for someone who holds such chauvinistic views. You can't hold yourself responsible for what happened. The other investors pulled out of the project and we were left holding the baby. If you can't get hold of ripe tomatoes, add some tomato puree. I'll try and get hold of Mark. I'll just see if he's free, Rachel said, and put me on hold. He has had to put his career on hold. Louis was holding court in the small dressing room. Fidelity is something most of us hold dear. It is important that we hold fast to the policies. Can you hold the fort in the kitchen? Harry did a good job of holding the fort until his boss recovered. France's central bank would hold the line. You've got to hold your nose when you go to the toilet. His views still hold true today. This argument just does not hold water. The 19th century had taken hold. Fortunately, the rain held off until the evening. If I was in their shoes, I'd hold off for a couple of days. He tried to hold in his laughter but failed. He held back, remembering the mistake he had made before. You're not holding anything back from me, are you? My lack of experience held me back a bit. Daniels was held back a year, repeating the 8th grade. He's willing to take on all comers, no holds barred, for a good political argument. I don't hold with fighting or violence. They were held up to public ridicule. The shocked victims of an armed hold-up. If your party holds together, you will probably win. Nations are held together by shared beliefs. Their argument doesn't hold together. Suppose, for the sake of argument, that this is the legal position. They held to the view that it was safe. The role of the media ought to be to hold politicians to their promises. The usual family gathering was held over until late January. You've been holding out on me. The troops held out against constant attacks. We can stay here for as long as our supplies hold out. A new drug may hold out hope for patients with lung cancer. Only time will tell if the plan is successful, but I'm not holding out much hope. A defiant holdout against a commercial culture. He is holding out for a guaranteed 7% rise. Don't you eyeball me. A lot of the things he says are right on the mark. Her observation about Maria was certainly on the mark. Groaning its displeasure at the shabby treatment it has recently received. She climbed the staircase cautiously, holding fast to the rail. The tanker is stuck fast on the rocks. The door held fast, obviously locked. We must hold fast in our pledge to environmental reform. Hold fast to the rope, and I will put you up. Hold fast, live slow. Hold fast to the broom, you foolish girl. An idle mind is a devil's workshop. Nothing good comes from boredom. Idle hands are the devil's playground. Idle hands are the devil's tools. He created one of the earliest online heat maps of crime data. The matter was held over until the next meeting. He no longer had any hold over her. The blackmailer had a hold over him. He has a tremendous hold over his younger brother. The weather held us in Denver for 2 days. He complained of a hurt leg and asked his trainer to stop the fight. You know I care, he said, in a hurt voice. You can dish it out but you can't take it. If he has the real dish I wish he'd tell us. Groups gather to brag about babies and dish about romances. He was happy to dish the dirt on his rival. His friends ran away and he was left holding the baby. They all ran off and left me holding the bag. After a match Judy generally held court in the locker room. Mother of pearl is widely used as an inlay in musical instruments. The cathedral was decorated with mosaic and inlay. Techniques like inlay. The table was decorated with gold inlay. The box was inlaid with gold monograms. The lid of the box had been inlaid with silver. To inlay a chest with lighter wood. To inlay marble in a tabletop. The white marble floors were inlaid in a radial pattern of brass. A sword inlaid with jewels. The carpenter inlaid the furniture with intricate designs. Transplants are only a stopgap until more sophisticated alternatives can work. Care from home can offer a stopgap solution to long-term care. She was pale and haggard. Divorce is assumed to have deleterious effects on children. Having a low vitamin D level can be deleterious to your health. She got the short end of the stick in the deal. As usual, it's the consumer who gets the short end of the stick. The poor always get the short end of the stick. The war had again reached stalemate. Last time I played him it ended up in stalemate. The group played a key role in stalemating the negotiations. This dispute has been a long drawn-out affair. There is little input from other members of the team. Her input on issues was appreciated. The inputs are a low-frequency signals. The input of data to the system. The signal being fed through the main input. Test results can be inputted by the technician in the laboratory. I need your input on what to have for dinner. She provided some valuable input at the start of the project. The computer gets its input from a keyboard or mouse. It took me all day to input the data you gave me. The job will require a considerable input of money. She inputted the sales figures into the spreadsheet. Teachers should welcome input from their students. Forbidden things seem more appealing. Forbidden fruit tastes the sweetest. In the 1940s, the Lindy Hop was all the rage. Computer games are all the rage. My parents used to love the Beatles. They were all the rage when they were teenagers. Very popular karaoke is all the rage these days. Zoom became all the rage for people to communicate with each other. Rice will keep almost indefinitely without spoiling. I am a very lucky chap. Keep your powder dry. They'll have to give us the trophy for keeps if we win it again. The end. Coming next session.